Hi, I'm Stephen Wessner, CEO of Predictive ROI, and in today's video, I'm going to share the practical and tactical steps of how to build an audience even if you're just getting started. And it doesn't include paid ads or anything like that, but it will then help you get really deep into your niches, the industries, the clients that you're serving that are clustering around certain industries. And if you're not doing that, I would highly suggest you do that, and maybe we'll make that a topic for a future video. But for today, it's all going to be about how you can build your audience from scratch into those respective niches. So you may recall in episode 7, I talked about using your podcast, using your YouTube series, or weekly blog or article series, or whatever sort of content channels you're currently producing, how to use that as your Trojan horse of sales. But now I want to take that into how you can then build audience so that your guests, your prospective guests, are even more apt to say, heck yeah, I'd like to be a part of that because I saw that you interviewed this person and that person. Okay, so let's start with how you strategically, or how you organize strategically your first several episodes and the guests of those episodes, because that does then link into building traffic and building audience quickly. And so, yes, your first episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, maybe you're going to invite, friends and colleagues and maybe even existing clients and so forth. People who are going to say yes, but at the same point, that they're going to share some very helpful insights with your audience, right? Because it's always needs to be about being helpful to your audience, okay? So you get those episodes done, and then part of your distribution strategy, aside from iTunes and Google Play or your blog or YouTube, it needs to be that you're going to create a social media post or campaign of posts around each of the episodes, and then you're going to tag your guest in those social media posts so that they can be sure to get the notification, right? If they're on Facebook or if they're on LinkedIn, they get that in their notifications, and then it becomes really easy for them to share. So the highlight that you're pulling out, the insight, it's not about you, and it's about what you learned from your guest that you're promoting within that post. It's, I really enjoyed interviewing John Smith, or I really am grateful for John Smith and his insights, or Sarah Jones and her insights and wisdom, because how that was helpful to your audience, and tagging Sarah or John in that so they get it in their notifications. Why? Because then they're more apt to like it, comment on it, and then share it across their platform. But you need to write it in such a way that it doesn't sound self-aggrandizing from their point of view, right? So they're not embarrassed to share it, that they want to share it, right? So it's about their insights and wisdom, and it makes it very easy to share. When they do that, then their circle of influence, who are likely also in your industry, will see that and find that helpful and come back and listen to the episode when they see their friend or colleague was just on your show. So that helps you start to build name recognition within that particular space, and then doing that at scale. So doing that to not only your first 5 or 6 interviews and guests, but doing that across, if it's a weekly YouTube series, doing that across 52 different episodes at scale, right? So you're doing that for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years. Now you're getting that into scale, but you're going to start growing pretty quickly. That's exactly how Onward Nation, our podcast, was able to get into 120 countries very quickly, because we had international guests and we had guests across different industries and so forth. So we developed some great awareness of our podcast quickly because our guests were highly motivated to share that content. Okay, so in addition to tagging them in your social media campaigns, you should also then write ebooks about their particular expertise and so forth. Create an ebook, put that onto your website, make it available for download, and then make sure that your guests know that. And so then share that with them. They will then pass that through to their community, perhaps. Be sure to include them in your email campaigns and make sure that they're seeded into that list so that they also receive the distribution, the promotional message when you're sharing their episodes. So they're more apt to then take that and email and share that out to their group and audience as well. So now you're starting to get really deep into specific industries and clustering your guests along with your Dream 25. So now you're starting to really get some nice awareness within those particular niches. Then start reaching out to thought leaders and experts who have larger audiences, larger social media profiles, and ask them to come onto the show, and then using that same strategy with them, and then they'll start to retweet it and share it across LinkedIn and so forth. Then your audience starts to grow. Can you do paid Facebook campaigns and so forth, and paid LinkedIn campaigns to drive traffic and drive audience? Sure you can, but it also is very expensive. And so it's been our experience that the best way to grow audience, aside from having great content, is to make sure you have the right people on the show, creating great social media campaigns, email campaigns, ebooks, highlighting their content in a very specific way that puts them in a very good light because they just shared their insight and wisdom with you, and then they'll share that out with their audience too. Your audience grows and everybody wins. So I hope that's helpful. Please do ask me any questions, or if you have any concerns, whatever, in the comments below. We love to get your questions. We love to get your feedback, thumbs up or thumbs down. It helps us get better every single day. So please fire them our way. And you can always email me at steven@predictiveroi.com. I look forward to seeing you next week. Onward with gusto.